Conquering a country normally takes a while, especially if that country is covered in mountains and deserts. But during World War II, when Britain and the Soviet Union decided to conduct a joint invasion of Iran, the country fell in only 6 days. Which raises the question, why? Why did Iran fall so quickly? So in 1941, German leaders decided that they'd like to take a trip to the Urals and began the invasion of the Soviet Union. 4 seconds after this, Britain and the USSR became allies. And making sure that the USSR had the supplies necessary to fight Germany became of paramount importance. One way of doing this was via the Northern Sea route here, but that was fraught with risk. The other way was going via Vladivostok, but that was too far, and so another option was needed. And that option was Iran, which also had lots of oil as a bonus. However, much to the annoyance of the British, the Shah of Iran saw his country as sovereign and didn't want to upset the Germans, whom he got along with. As such, the British and the Soviets decided to invade. While supplying the USSR was the primary objective of the invasion, stopping Iran from selling oil to Germany and potentially threatening British India were also important reasons. For Iran, things were pretty bleak to begin with. The USSR had a massive land border to the north, and British troops were waiting to the east and the west. But even with this, 6 days is a very short time to conquer such a mountainous large country. So how did the Allies do it? Well, reason number one was that the Allies launched a surprise attack. Unlike most conflicts of the time, there was no formal declaration of war or ultimatum before that. Just that one day, British and Soviet troops had crossed into the country and Tehran was being bombed, which meant that the Iranians weren't able to mount a defense because the Allies had taken infrastructure within their first few hours. The second reason was that the Iranian army wasn't very capable. Whilst they were on the defensive and had a numerical advantage, the point of the army was to shoot the Shah's internal opponents, not hold off a mixed arms invasion on multiple fronts by two great powers. And reason number three why Iran fell so quickly was that nobody really liked the Shah very much. Many Iranians had been at the shooty end of the Shah's regime, and ethnic minorities then had been having a pretty bad time. And so when the Shah was threatened, very few really cared. Furthermore, whilst Iranian generals knew that winning conventionally would be impossible, they did want to resort to guerrilla tactics to make occupying Iran too costly. The Shah, however, felt that this would cost too many lives and much more importantly would ruin all of the nice new roads that he built during his reign. And as such, he called for a ceasefire after just 6 days. The Shah had hoped that by giving up, the Allies would be much more generous towards him and his country, but fun fact, no. He was soon forced to abdicate in favour of his son, and Britain and the USSR occupied these parts of the country. The agreement was that they would stay until 6 months after Germany's defeat, but instead they stayed for about a year. In fact, the USSR was hard-pressed to leave at all. They were soon pressured by the USA into retreating, and after they'd left, Iran was once again